So hey guys, and welcome. I'm going to be going over some very basics of sailing, such as just kind of like how to balance out the boat when it gets a bit too rough out there, and just general sail parts in general. So does anyone know anything about sailing?
I know a little bit.
I know a
Yeah?
little bit, but not too much.
And you
I don't know
nothing.
anything.
Okay. Well, so pretty much this is a general sailboat. Any people that have been sailing, can you name any parts on the sailboat?
The hull.
And what can you point to that in the? Okay, so yeah, it's pretty much the base of the boat. Everything is built around the hull. Any other parts people know about?
The sail.
The sail, yes. And how many sails are there usually in a normal boat?
2.
Oh, so you do know some things about sailing. Yes. Now, does anyone know what the sails are called?
The mast.
That's not the sail.
Oh, the jib.
Yes, that is one of them. That is the tiny sail that comes out front. So that would be right here on the boat, okay? And that one is on the front of the boat, and it's smaller. Now, does anyone know what the big sail is called?
It's the main sail.
Yes, and
Or the main sheet.
no, that is the rope that you put on to the main sail
Oh.
to control if it is in or out. Now, the main sail is the bigger sail, and for most boats is where you get the most power from. So, this boat does not have one, but boats have to have a centerboard or keel or dagger board to keep it from capsizing and getting blown over in heavy winds. So pretty much what it is a long piece of sometimes lead, wood, depends on what the boat is, will either be put down when you start sailing, or it'll be built into the boat, and it will keep you from capsizing and keep you,
Even if it's really windy?
well, at times when it gets too windy, you will capsize because of heavy winds and knocking over the sail.
Okay, thank you.
So guys, another thing is the boom, and what the boom does is it keeps the mainsail kind of down because the jib is already attached to the bottom where the mainsail is not, so it has to be hooked onto the boom, and you have to watch out for the boom because where it gets its name from is when you tack or jibe, the sail will swing around and possibly hit you, so you kind of want to look out for it. Yeah. So the next part I'm going to teach you guys about is the rudder. Now, the rudder is probably one of the most important parts of the boat because it allows you to steer the boat. Without it, it would be very difficult, but not impossible. So the rudder is also hooked up to a tiller or a wheel. Now, what this does is it helps you not have to reach down and move this tiny piece of wood back and forth. Now, does anyone know the little things that you put in a sail to keep it shape and keep it nice and strong?
We're not sure.
Okay, they are called battens, and what battens do is they add a bit of rigidity to your sail and keep it strong. So does anyone know the directions of the boat? For instance,
No.
the front, the back, the left, and the right.
No.
Not really.
Okay, so the front is called the bow of the boat, and the stern is the back. Now, any guess at the left?
Port.
Yeah, that's a really weird one, I know. So yes, port side is on the left, and the starboard side is on the right. And the way you know what direction it is from sitting at the stern looking at the bow. That is where you decide, left or right. So another part of the boat are telltales. Now there are telltales both on the jib and the main. The mainsail usually has one or two, and it's on the very edge of the back of the sail. Now, these telltales are used to tell you when the sail is at max performance. So when they're flying straight back or slightly dancing, that is when they're the best. There are also telltales on the jib. Now, the jib has special telltales because you have to be able to see both on each side. So they put a small clear area so you can see through. Now, these telltales have There are usually about 3 telltales on each sail, and when they are flying straight on both sides, that is very key. You know that your sail is at optimum performance, and you're probably trimmed your sails very nicely. Does anybody know what the lines are called that raise the sails and lower the sails?
They're called halyards.
Yes, and halyards are used
Very
for
good.
raising and lowering the sail. So it allows the sail to be raised up and lowered. Now, what you can do with reefing, which will lower the amount of sail out, so not as much sail will be exposed so that you'll have less wind. Now, let's say you're getting very heavy wind and you're constantly capsizing and you're just having a horrible time and you really need to keep your boat flat. Some things you can do are you can let out the sail. So instead of the sail being really, really flat and catching all the wind, you can make it bag a bit more so the wind rolls off it more. Now, this works almost 100% of the time, but in some conditions you can't release the sail because it's just so tight that you can't take it out of the cleat. Now, in situations like that, you need to do something called pinching. Now, what pinching does is it kind of goes beyond the point where your boat it's kind of going too close to irons, so you can't collect all the wind. Now, at this point, it kind of like lowers your speed, but it really flattens you out because your sails aren't collecting as much wind, so it keeps you flat.
What is iron?
Irons is where the wind is coming from. So a lot of boats have a difficult time getting close to irons, so if you start kind of going towards it, when you get really overpowered, you can kind of flatten it out. Okay, so guys, we're going to go over some boat parts again. So can someone point out a couple things on this boat?
Sure.
Okay. Why don't you give it a go?
Are you going to ask me or do I have to tell you?
Tell me one thing on the boat.
This is the hull.
Okay.
That's a bit earlier.
Catherine, can you point something out?
This is the jib.
Yeah, so that area would be designated to the jib because it's a smaller sail that goes in front.
This is the boom.
Yes, that is a boom. It is hooked on. Oh, it's not.
Okay, and then I would say that this is the main sail.
Yes, the main sail would be there. So, what is the main body of the sailboat?
The hull.
Okay. Now, what is the primary sail used?
The
Main sail.
Now, what do you use to raise sails?
Lines.
The halyards.
Halyards.
Yeah. Okay, and what do you use to steer a boat?
The tiller.
Tiller.
Or
Or
wheel.
rudder.
Or wheel.
Or a wheel, yes. Remember,
is
the tiller
connected.
is hooked onto the rudder, so
Oh,
that you
right.
can
Oh,
control it.
that's right.
Yes.
Okay.
And is there anything that you can put on a tiller?
A preventer.
Autopilot.
Tiller extensions, so that you can reach further and not have to sit as close to it.
Okay.
So, okay, so awesome. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you guys actually learned something.
We learned a lot, Sam. Thank you very much. This has been really helpful. I learned a lot about the sail and about
Thanks, Sam.
No problem.
Thanks, Sam. You rock.